Hello guys. I have actually read the book named The One Thing. It's a fabulous book. Literally the fabulous book. Okay? Because we can do 1,000 things, right? But we are so limited in focus and concentration and especially in energy and time that we can't focus on 1,000 things. But we can only focus on 2 things, 3 things, or 1 thing. And that book explains why we shouldn't focus on 1,000 things and should only focus on 1 thing. There are 6 lies of productivity. That if we keep doing that 6 things, that kills productivity. That 1 thing is multitasking. 2, a disciplined life. 3. So there is a lot of things that I will do it in the future. So in that book, I have read that one proverb which we use. Okay, normally the things we learn in the book are not rules. Okay, see, gravitation is a rule, gravitation is a law. All the government laws are not laws. All the rules that we keep are not just rules. A rule is something, or a law is something that you can't break. For example, gravitation. I can't break gravitation no matter how much we try. As long as we are staying on earth, we can't break gravitation. That is a law, gravitational rule, right? So another thing, like if you're born, you have to die. That's a rule. Like you can't change it. Even the gravitation or the law of death or the rule of death doesn't change if I like or if I don't like, it doesn't change. It stays the same. Okay? So when we are reading a book, there's a lot of rules in that, right? So actually don't even call it as rules, I call it as principles. So a book like Atomic Habits can have 12 principles that if we follow more principles, if I follow 2 principles out of the 12, I will get normal results. But if I follow 10 principles out of 12, I will get optimized results. If I follow all the 12 principles, I may get the maximum out of that book. So what we do is, when we read a book, we write down all the principles that are necessary to operationalize things, to do the actions. So I read this principle that what is the one thing by doing which everything else becomes easier or unnecessary. Okay, this is the quote from One Thing book. If possible, I will make a summary, a short summary, and I will give my perspectives about on that book in the future. Like what's the one thing by doing which everything else becomes easier or everything else becomes unnecessary. When I have read that, I actually paused for some time and it didn't connect with me. Okay, so why? Because I don't want things to become easy, right? We don't want things to become easy. We have to get better, we have to get stronger, right? Like even if I do want to get things easy at 10%, 90% of the times, or 80% or 70%, I want to get stronger. Remaining 30%, right, I want to get things easier. Okay, but a lot of times I want to get stronger. I don't want things to become easy. The second thing is, nothing is unnecessary in this world. Like things are necessary for me, things are optimized for me, but what else is unnecessary in this world? Nothing. Like the bird is shouting there. Is that unnecessary in this world? No. Like there are worst type of things that happen in this world. All that are unnecessary? No. There has some good impact because of that. Like, is a war unnecessary? It kills good people and it kills bad people too. Is that unnecessary? No. There can be some good in all bad and there can be some bad in all good. So, see, actually, there are 2 things. Okay, the relative and the absolute. Relative is something which uses only us for the individuals. The absolute is a complete view of everything, okay, about that whole cosmos thing. In absolute, we can't do everything good, but in relative, we can do all good. For example, I want my brothers or I want my family to eat food. Okay, so what I do is I go to a shop and I bring something. It can be vegetables or it can be chicken or mutton or whatever it is. So we bring that and I feed the family, right? relatively I have done good to them, but in the absolute thing, I have killed them, right? I have killed fruits, I have killed trees, I have killed animals in order to provide for my family. So absolutely, in the absolute sense, when we take the entire whole total thing in the absolute, we can't do good and we can't do bad. In everything, in every good, there is bad involved, and in every bad, there is good involved, right? So the only thing that matters, the only thing that we can take into consideration is the relative thing. Only that matters. The absolute thing doesn't matter to us, because even if we take that into consideration, we will feel miserable. Like, what's the purpose? So taking things relatively is better, because you can control only what you can control. You can do what only you can do. You can't do everything. Like, you can't do the whole work of the world, right? So when I have seen this, nothing is unnecessary in this world in the absolute sense, or even in the relative sense. Something is important for me, and for my mother, something else is important. She calls me and keeps all the work that is unnecessary for me, and yet I still do that, right? So things are not unnecessary. So recently I have figured out a way for me which can help you also. That is, what's the one thing by doing which everything else gets fulfilled? So this is my version out of that one thing book principle. What is the one thing by doing which everything else gets fulfilled? So by this, what we do is we do the most important work, and which fulfills all the remaining tasks. Okay, operationalizing this works even better than questioning about what is the one thing which makes things easier or unnecessary. Better than that is, what is the one thing by doing which everything else gets fulfilled? Okay, by fulfilling other things, we are leaving something behind, but we are leaving that thing behind, the small thing, the useless things behind, in order to get a better thing, to get a better work finished. So fulfilling this can also fulfill this. So we are leaving this for the short time or for the long time. We leave this and do the best work that is possible. That one thing that fulfills all remaining things. Okay, so I think this can be helpful in the one thing book. So there is a lot of things. If possible, I'll make a summary out of that book. Okay, so thank you. If this video helps, give it a thumbs up. If you like the video, like the video. If you hate the video, even then give it a like and give it a subscribe. Okay, thank you. Bye. Boop.